Hello. Moving stuff around. Hi, whoever's here. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Rabbi Roz. How are you? Everything good? It's the weekend. It's Friday. I love it. I got the new Say powder. Can't wait to try it. I just put some concealer on. We're going to see how it works. What's going on, guys? Hello. Oh, I need a puff. I have so much stuff like behind me. It's just, when I get done with these, it's literally like 20 toddlers were back here throwing things. Just arrived in Austin to your niece and nephew. So you're in a same time zone as me. Can't wait to see the Say powder. Me either. First of all, it was so hard getting my hands on this because for whatever reason, this is hard to open. It was showing up that the stores had it, but they really didn't. I don't love that it doesn't have a mirror, but it wasn't that pricey. Let's see. I think it was like 28. $32. You should get a mirror for $32, right? Let's see. It looks like a beautiful color. It's very silky. It's got like a little bit of pinkness to it. Feels nice. Not like, an hourglass powder, but just looking for some blur. Looks like it does. Maybe a little bit of coverage. I have bronzer over here that I was trying on. Their blush packaging was cheap, but you love them. It's funny. A friend of mine is he's like a big time makeup artist. He was the global director at Shiseido for a bunch of years. He worked for NARS. I met him back in the 90s when we used to hang out at Barney's in Chicago, and he and his husband moved out to New York as he was moving up. He was also moving up. He was doing like all the windows and everything. And the two of them, just kept parlaying their way like up and up the ladder. And now they bought this really cute place like in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut. And they have this really artsy store that he's got some of his makeup. They've got furniture and art and just, wild. And it's like a little group of shops that people go from like the city, like, out to Connecticut or whatever for the day to get away from it all. And they're having the best time. I was like, you guys have the best retirement. I'm just going to take one of these puffs and we're just going to see. I remember having their loose powder. I wonder if it's still here. I can run and take a look in a second. But I liked it. And it was funny. I bought the one that was darker to use as a bronzer. And it was really good. I'm going to see if I have those. Let's see if this has any color. Just do a very small amount. Looks blurring. I wouldn't say it's, like, overly brightening either, like, not in a bad way. I'm just taking a little bit at a time, I don't wanna overdo it. But if I can cover up looking tired at this hour, it's a win. The blush packaging was cheap. Hey, Michelle, finally home. You've been on vacation. I saw your little, video with the lipstick today and that beautiful brush. I loved it. We're trying out the Say powder. Trying to do, like, just half. I think it's pretty. Do you guys? It looks kinda luminous. Doesn't it? In comparison? I like it. It's, like, not too much, but I can see that it's I wish it had, like, a little mirror. We'll grab one of the hourglasses. I have a whole story about this too. Yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't look like there's no powder, though. It definitely looks like I have powder on. I miss my Givenchy. I mean, I still have it, but, like, I miss being able to use it with wild abandon. It's such a good brush. Oh, you responded on Instagram. I haven't been there yet. I mean, I think this looks nice, but it definitely, to me, looks like makeup. Maybe I just look like I've, like, had, like, a whole day, and it's probably not the best time to evaluate a powder. I usually like loose powders more than pressed. One of your favorite loose powders is Amicole. No, we're gonna talk about Amicole tonight. The crazy thing is I just made a video with the new lip oils, and then that stuff came out. It was just so crazy. There's so much to say about it. Alright, I like this. I'm not gonna say, like, "Oh my god, it's the best powder I've ever seen in my entire life." Let's see what it looks like if we give it a little spritz. It's only fair. Okay. Give that a minute. That'll wake you up. I think the Say powder might be a little thick. I've seen other people try it, and they said not good for under the eyes. Well, yeah, we found that out in a hurry. It's interesting. I wonder if it's, like, more of a finishing powder because it does have, like, a radiance to it. I wouldn't put it up there with, like, Hourglass or anything. If you see little things, like, in my hairline or over here or even, like, over here, you guys, I had, my migraine Botox shots done yesterday, and she, like, drills them into my head, and so I have these, like, little bruises here and there. Maybe it was Lexi. Yeah, I mean, I think it's I don't know if I saw that one from Lexi. Um, I don't know. You know what? I'll have to test it, like, when I've really, like, done my skincare and I feel like I'm giving it a good shot. Like, tonight, I feel like it's trying to save me, and I don't know if that's possible. So, let's talk for a minute about Amicole, because I really wanna hear what you guys think. I have been doing a lot of soul searching, and I just wanna this is before all of this. When I left YouTube last time, it was because I feel like I'm singing, I had lost that love and feeling, but, like, I really had, like, I was so done with that whole drama piece of junior high school, whatever was going on in the beauty space, like, pre-COVID with Tati and James and that other guy, horrible anti-Semitic guy that I can't stand. What's his name? Jeffree Star. All that stuff was happening. It was just like ugly. But later on, when I was making videos, I felt like if I wasn't first and I couldn't get the product fast enough and I couldn't get it out there fast enough, then who was going to use my links? And it was just like a whole thing. Like, I'm a school teacher, you guys. I'm a reading specialist. I've worked in retail because my best friend has a boutique. I waitressed for a number of years. I mean, I'm not a makeup artist, but I've always loved makeup. I've always loved it. And now I've always really into skincare, and I love that too. But I didn't feel, first of all, I mean, like I wasn't making very much money. Or how about this? I was losing a lot of money. Let me turn this a little bit. Wasn't getting any PR, and it's hard to get PR. It's an interesting, thing. When you join the thing called Shop My, which is the thing that you click on when you click somebody's link to take it to buy a product so that they'll get, 3% or 8% or whatever it is on your thing. And the company keeps a score on you. And your score is based on your sales, the majority of it, how many other people you bring to the platform, which, I mean, like the girl that does my hair, she was starting something on I think it's Instagram, where she was going to have people that were, going to be doing stuff with her, and she used my name to do hers. And so I got, a couple points or whatever, but you're on this continuum. And in order to get to the part where you get to talk to brands and ask for gifting is a stretch. It seems like reviewing luxury makeup or even high-end makeup is very expensive. I know how much I spend. I couldn't imagine how hard it is to do it for a living and be financially solvent. Yeah, you and my husband think that's because, I mean, I spent a lot on my classroom because I was a Chicago public school teacher for a long time. I might need to grab my thermos. I think I left it over there. It's such a double-edged sword. I don't want to sell, and that's not what I'm here for, and that's not why I watched videos. I watched videos for, sometimes it was for the company, sometimes it was for the connection. Sometimes I just wanted to see the products. I needed to see the swatches. I wanted to see what a person thought who I trusted and have seen other things that they have reviewed. But then again, it was the sell. Everything is the sell. And I just didn't love what I was doing. For some reason, I don't have a problem with it on Instagram. Like, to me, Instagram is, you decide. I haven't said a word about it. Here it is. You want to buy it, use my link, And when you're doing the videos, it's kind of the opposite, because you're going to be totally honest. At least I'm going to be totally honest. And, so you can shoot yourself in the foot, which is why you see all of these people that are online being like, I'm obsessed with this, and I'm obsessed with this, and I'm obsessed with this. And, everything is new and every 2 seconds. And it's not like it was when we were young. I remember, I got to grab my water. Be right back. 1 second. Sorry, guys. I left it over on the other side of the room. Okay. So it just, I couldn't figure out a way to be okay feeling like I was selling and also feeling like I was supporting the community. And I wasn't loving it. I wasn't excited about the makeup anymore. It was more about, oh, I didn't get this. Oh, I didn't get that. I got this. Buying all of some color of something. It was ridiculous, totally not sustainable. And I just stopped and started doing more with Instagram, which, by the way, I mean, that's been hard. I vacillate between having, let's see, I'm super low on my views this month, 26.8 thousand views, which is like nothing. And they, like, every day it's maybe like one or two people are subscribing. So it's a lot. And I definitely feel like there's a change going on right now in the beauty space. And we had our first change, I feel like, with getting rid of the adolescent ridiculousness. And then COVID happened. And this was how we all connected with each other. And that part of it was so good. It was really nice to talk to other people that weren't in your house. I was teaching during that time online, which was very challenging. It's very hard to teach people how to read on a computer. And the kids that I was teaching, they were living in these 1 and 2 bedroom apartments with like 3 to 4 families in them because they didn't have enough money to, all keep their own apartments. And there were, all these kids on computers. And when you're a teacher, the one thing you don't see is kids at home. And I was seeing the kids at home. So that was interesting on its own level. But I've always had a passion for this, and I love the connection. And when I was teaching, for me, it was always about getting kids to not just connect with learning, but to connect with each other. And when I taught adults, it was the same thing. It was like I really wanted them to bond together because so much good comes out of, a group think. It's like even hearing and seeing a bad idea and seeing what you don't want to do is still seeing something. And I think that applies here. I think that we're all looking for community. And I think we're all looking for a place to talk with other people that are as nuts about beauty as we are, for whatever reason. And I also think beyond that, it's like we kind of get to know each other. You get to know some of the people that you watch, but you start to see the same people in your circles of who you're watching. Like we all watch, Rebecca, because she's a real editor and you get it like it is. And it's so funny. It's like she and I always say we would never steal each other's men or makeup because we have totally different tastes in it. It's kind of funny. But I don't know. I didn't have the passion. And the funny thing is that I found it in such a weird way. So true, the same groups of people. I mean, right? And that's when you start to feel like you can comment places. And I'm not talking about like when you pay into someone's, small group thing that they have. I pay into a few of them. I mean, Rebecca's I love, like her weekly lives, love it. I definitely want to do that. I'm going to have a VIP section, but right now I'm working on the meat and potatoes. It is so hard to build a website like this that's not cookie cutter, what they give you. And the most important thing to me is there's going to be a community space where you have to come through me in order to get in. And then once you're in, you can have live conversations with each other, which is going to be, it's going to be really nice. I mean, you can just be like, hey, let's go over to the space and talk for, 20 minutes. Okay. I'll see you there at 4 o'clock or whatever. I want it to be a place that you can hang out. You grab your drink and, you go see who's there, or you take a look at the blog posts that I wrote and the comments that are made there. I want it to be a place that you can call home. Let's see what you're saying here. Websites and apps are extremely expensive. So props for doing this, Michelle. I've always been like a negative cash flow worker. We'll see what happens. It could work out to be really, really great because from what I understand, when you get a larger community and you have more people, the brands want to work with you. And it's not like, hey, here's free products, because I just don't care about that. It's more, being able to do something like sitting over there right now is the Current Body red light mask. And that I am doing something with. So that'll be fun for me. There'll be a first. There are platforms like this, like the Discord Sophia does. Okay, that's great. I don't know what exactly I'm going to use yet. I don't know if it's going to be Discord or if it's going to be like an extension of it. I know people have Facebook groups, but I think that many of us come on here for the makeup, but we stay for the friends that we're making and for the connections that we're making. People are overworked. People are not going out as much right now because the economy is like, we don't know what's happening. You've always been a negative cash flow worker. That's me. Yeah. When I was teaching, it was like, okay, I have 37 first graders this year and they all need a winter coat. That was pretty much me, the teacher. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm doing this slowly, piece by piece. I will get there. It will happen. I want this for us. And getting back to the Ami Cole thing, were you guys surprised to see that? Or was it just me? It's like when you finally see them at Sephora, it feels like maybe in an indie way they've kind of made it. On one hand, there's, Hailey Bieber selling her company for $1 billion, I was definitely caught off guard. Me too. And did you guys read the article where she was talking about it on The Cut? I'm going to pull up. I want to pull this up from The Cut. Yeah. Okay. Not like trying to show off or anything, but that was pretty smooth, even for, me. It's all about funding. Hey, Felice. Hi, hi. It is all about the funding. And interestingly enough, a brand like Sarah Creel. Okay, Sarah Creel is a person who has been in the beauty business for her whole career. I didn't really know a lot about the Amicole brand. They just had released those lip glosses and oils, but I didn't see it coming. I think we're going to see a lot more of it. Well, that's definitely what the lipstick lesbians said when they did their response on there. Just got here. What did I miss? All right, we're getting caught up to where we're at in the beauty community right now. The owner of the indie brand Unearthly Cosmetics said that they are struggling, and that really surprised you. Yeah. So, okay, Sarah Creel. This is one of her new lip glosses. She was in product development. She started at like a Bobbi Brown counter. She's worked for Tom Ford, Estee Lauder, like all these companies. She was the person who started Victoria Beckham Beauty with her, and then she moved and decided, she did her contract or whatever with Victoria. I don't know why it ended. I don't know if it was supposed to. It did. And she claims, I'm sure it's correct, that she woke up one day and decided that all this makeup was not working for her anymore because she wasn't her own she wasn't the customer. She wasn't who they were formulating for. And at the beginning, you start with a few SKUs. Now, she's a whole different story because her connections at Sephora particularly got her in a door that no new brand would have gotten in. She's got gondolas and the whole 9 yards going for her, and she's been there for like a year. That usually doesn't happen. But she even talked about how difficult it was to get funding. And that's somebody who knows all of the people and has a proven track record, but she's a woman. On top of that, on top of it being this very male part of the world, Amicole brings in also being a person of color. And I want to know what you guys think. I don't want to be the only one saying this stuff, but I was surprised because, you hear these horror stories about Sephora and you almost see it happening. Like, let me give you guys an example. A brand will come out with a blush line. Okay, cream blushes, the XYZ brand at Sephora. And they bring us a peach, a light pink, a deeper pink, a mauve, a terracotta, a berry. And they're always the same colors. And you can tell it's formulaic, and you can tell that they've been told what they need to add, with some exceptions. Like House Labs, I feel like they, kind of write their own rules. Someone like Urban Decay, they probably have enough SKUs now that whatever they want to bring out, they can bring out. Plus, on top of that, these companies have slowly but surely been bought by a very small number of brands. I want to show you guys what that looks like. But in the meantime, I want to hear, have you guys heard horror stories like I have about the pressure that Sephora puts on these companies to make them a certain amount of money, or sayonara. My understanding is that being in Sephora costs the brand a boatload of money, and it doesn't always work out financially. Like I heard Pat McGrath is leaving Sephora, or are you confused about that? I would not be surprised, but I also kind of think that what might be happening, because she's working for, Louis Vuitton, which is LVMH, and that's Sephora. I think her brand is just going to be absorbed by them. And I think, like her formulas and stuff, you'll see in the LVMH line, the Louis Vuitton line that's coming out. It will be interesting to see. But yes, I have heard it's expensive. And I have heard that Sephora is not delightful to deal with unless you're the, biggest producer. What are you guys here? I thought the really interesting quote that she had. I'm just going to read this. In 1989, my Senegalese mother and father worked together to purchase a hair salon on 125th Street in the heart of Harlem. At one of the African braiding salons in the country, my mother, Aminata Ami Kole, wrapped my baby self tight on her back as she stood 8 to 12 hours a day making her clients feel beautiful. So the first layer of this is, I think there's a lot of pain right now in the immigrant communities. And it doesn't matter, like what side of immigration you're on. I think everybody can agree that it's a sore and difficult subject for people. Trying to keep this as even as I can. She goes on to say that she started a lip oil craze. I mean, she was like one of the first that I can remember. Do you guys remember anybody really having one before then? I don't. When I saw signs for a Sephora store opening at the mall, I didn't know how I'd balance a job with school full time, but I knew it had to be mine. I was one of 2 Black people to join the opening team, so she had worked for them. Just scamming. I want to find that one part. The height of the Glossier, I was recruited to join in its product development team. I mean, this is a person who has been moving toward this her whole life, every step that she took. 2018, her millennial pink dreams became black and white. Job was offered to her, the development of marketing. She turned to social media with Ami Kole. Where's the quote that I'm looking for that was so searing? Says almost 6 years after Ami Kole first lived in my head, 4 years after we officially launched, the world feels upside down. We've got this president, climbing tariffs and market costs that are brutal for small brands like mine. And while my story isn't unique, it still hurts to watch the industry preach inclusivity while remaining so unforgiving. That was the quote that I was looking for. That's a lot. And it's just a couple of us here right now. There's just way too much hate going on in this world right now. This is not a good place to be. It's like, I think that we all, up until this point, felt like if we worked hard enough, we would get the things that we wanted in life. And, most of us in my generation were able to purchase a home or rent one that felt good to them. And my son says things like, I don't know where I'm going to be able to buy a house eventually. Like, you just worry about finishing college and getting into law school. Let's talk about the house later. But they don't think that there will be money for all of this. I don't know, thoughts. I was very sad to hear that what I thought was this, post George Floyd like boost that a lot of brands got. It really became a thing to really be thinking about women of color. Brands like Kulfi came along, and Ami Cole. Danessa Myricks was really pretty much exclusively African-American stuff at the beginning. Pat was everywhere. She was on every runway, but unusual for her to have been a Black woman and the age that she is right now. I just think there's a lot there to unpack, There's a lot of layers to this. And I think, for me, for us, I want people to feel like they're the center and that they matter. I always said when I taught from the back seat because the kids had to drive, I had to push the car along and, give them things to do along the way. But they had to be in charge of feeling like they had a say in what was happening. And so I want that from you guys. I want to know, Michelle, can you try to get somebody in here that's started a brand? Can you find out about this? Can we look at lip balms this week? My lips are really chapped. Let's talk about skincare with the coming winter and like the 75, like when we had 75 different serum foundations launch at one time. That's the other thing. There's a whole piece that's kind of been peeled back by the lipstick lesbians in showing us, product development. And I think we're going to see more of this sort of unmasking. But there's a change going on in the beauty space right now. Are you guys seeing it too? Like, do you think that it's different? I feel like we are different. I feel like we as consumers we're kind of there, I don't really know anybody that's in super need of anything except for maybe things that they run out of, like skincare. Like that to me is like the rotating, big expense of it all. What are your guys' thoughts on all of this? I really want to know. And I want to know, like, what are some of the reasons why you watch? Oops. Sorry about this, my sister. Sorry. Um, I want to give people over 40 exactly what they want. I want to share the things that you guys are interested in seeing, the things that you want me to try, the things that, all the products and that stuff is one small piece. But like, it was fun the other day to just talk about like messy makeup and, we can talk about lipstick colors and we can talk about incorporating, the Pantone colors. We can talk about different formulas and how you can adjust them or change them or manipulate them. There's so much content that can be done that doesn't have to be, it's a new product, here you go. That can be folded in to the cake, Thoughts, guys. I'm dying to hear. I feel like I'm just talking away. You're so bummed that you missed the discussion. You're obsessed with grunge looks. You can watch the replay. I left it up. Don't worry. I'll be doing more grunge. I'm obsessed with grunge. It was a good time in life. So I don't know what the answer is here. I think that it's sort of two separate things, I guess, that we're talking about. We're talking about the beauty community has an ugly side, this business side of it. I'm embarrassed to admit I'd never heard of Ami Cole until the news of her company closing. Why are you embarrassed? It's nothing to be embarrassed about at all. I mean, I do this for a living. I say that in very, very heavy quotes. Even just knowing now that we're talking about a Black-owned brand that was getting funding and getting a push from Sephora, like they were incubating her. It's interesting to see that happened to them. It's a whole lot to comment on in a chat, but we are definitely living in a less kind, less compassionate and caring country and world, and it is particularly unkind to any minority. Yes. And Rabbi Raz, this is why you're Rabbi Raz, because you hit the nail on the head. I mean, gosh, you guys, when it comes down to it, I just want to know if somebody's a good person. I always felt like I connected with kids because I met them where they were. And kindness goes such a long way, whether you're teaching kids or working with grown-ups or whatever it is. I've been seeing a ton of people saying they weren't aware of the brand fleece. I think that's part of the issue, don't you? I mean, that is definitely part of the issue. The brand didn't have a ton of products, correct? Which means the brand didn't have a lot of funding. I want to show you guys a picture or something. But please type more while I do this because I want to just find these. I think everybody needs to be a whole lot more kind to each other, period. You know? Why would I want to buy this? Sorry. Okay. I'll just put this up here. I wish I could get this bigger. They like want me to pay for the picture, which is bizarre. I don't. I mean, seriously, you guys keep clicking on this picture and it keeps asking me to buy it. Why would I want to buy it? All right, this is my last shot. For what it's worth, we'll try it. Don't know if it will be quite big enough, but all right. See if I can make this any bigger. Yay. Okay. So this is a little bit out of date, but we have 7 brands that own the majority of the beauty companies that are out there. Felice said, my best friend is Black. She recently turned 50 and decided to get into skincare and makeup. I introduced her to Gloria, I love her, and recommended Pat McGrath, Danessa Myricks, and other Black-owned brands. It's amazing. It's such a gift that you gave her. I agree, but not everyone values kindness. Some people only value money, others power. I think many of the things we took for granted are no longer a given. I think that a lot of the social structures that we had in place have disintegrated. Wish I'd known about Amicole. You know, here's the thing. Sephora should have made it so that you know who Amicole is. They are her representing, you know, these brands. And to be only able to buy into certain markets and certain stores is, you know, it's an ugly beauty world. So if you look at, like, let's just say L'Oreal for right now, because that's in the top left. And all of those companies now share all their secret formulas with each other. And they can go back and forth and tweak them and kind of fine tune them and not pay for all of the research and development because it's already been done. So what happens is they trickle into their, you know, drugstore kind of clients and brands. And those upper echelon ones, maybe a couple of them, you know, they'll do their own like new little things, but there's still going to be this happening as it goes down. And I don't see that many, if any, minority-owned brands on here. I mean, I'm looking right now. Do you guys see one? I can't think of one of these off the top of my head that is. But this is the problem. Now you look at somebody like Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, Tanessa Myrick's, Victoria Beckham, Phytosurgeons, this Unearthly Cosmetics, all of these little indie brands. I have a love-hate relationship with Sephora. I hate them for promoting Huda. Oh my God, I can't even go there. She's a terrorist. I don't want to talk about it at all. I have a hard time processing the fact that you are only going to succeed if you're purchased by one of them. 9 times out of 10. I think there are some exceptions, to the rule, but they're, in the end, these are still small businesses, you guys. Like Danessa Myrick's is a small business. Natasha Denona is a small business. Phytosurgeons, very small, the two of them. I think that the beauty industry changed a lot with when Fenty came in. I remember talking with one of my friends who is, she's of South Asian descent. And she literally cried when she went and saw the foundations because she's never had a match in her whole life. Sort of like, complaining that, maybe your concealer is just a little bit, too yellow or whatever. It just didn't seem quite as much. When I start doing a deeper dive, I start getting annoyed with LVMH. It's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot to think about. This can be ugly, and I feel like I hate the word influencer, but I think that's what a lot of people think that they are. I like to think of myself as a person who's online who likes makeup. I don't know. But I'm not an influencer, although I will tell you the truth. And I think I've tried a lot of things, but that's why you watch certain people. Like, if I want to know, like, is this going to be a decent product? I'm watching Rebecca and Lexi, and I'm just like, this is my answer. Like, Rebecca's going to tell me what's what. Lexi's going to show me 87 other things so I can make sure that I'm not, buying the 100th neutral palette that I don't need. And then, like, there's people that I watch that are relaxing for me, like Tanya Wells. Oh, she's just like, the way she talks, and she's so quiet, and she's so delightful to listen to. And I just can, like, clean my house and listen to her talk, Podcasts are like that too. Brands are really catering to Asian market right now. Look at all the new releases they get first. Okay, so true story. You guys have heard Rebecca talk about Andrew, who was my guy from Chicago. I hooked them up. He was my Tom Ford guy at Neiman Marcus on Michigan Avenue in the city. And I want to tell this story like the right way. I need to think for a second. I got to think for a second. Okay. He said, I can't remember what the palette was that we were talking about. Whatever palette in question it was, it like wasn't, like everybody was into things being like super pigmented back then. It has to be so pigmented. You need to be pigmented. Give me something buildable and I'm thrilled. Like, I don't want to go too fast. I like to coast my way in. But aside from that, I said, I don't understand all of these palettes and I don't understand these foundation shades and I don't understand this. And he's like, Michelle, the United States is not the center of the beauty universe. This is not where they're making their money. They're making their money on the rich Asian market. And they are the ones that drive the trends now. And they're the ones that are catered to. They're the ones that get the extra collections that we never see or hear of. They have every New Year holiday thing, going. They always do it. You like listening to Maria when you're getting ready in the morning. I know she's so sweet to listen to too, isn't she? So there are people for for every mood, Anyway, it was sort of like a shocker to me, thinking like a true American that I am, that what do you mean they're not going to give it to us? And what do you mean they're not formulating for us? But we're not their bread and butter, we're down that list substantially of, what makes it and what doesn't. What helps is Hollywood and the US, beauty space is probably one of the stronger ones. Although I think India is doing a lot also now. But these beauty communities are like a blessing and a curse for these companies because we're reviewing, we're talking about them, we're exposing things. And this whole thing with Amicole, it's like, what's really happening here? I know that they've been, for instance, there's a boycott on Target because they took away things that they were doing for, let's just say, a certain segment of the population, because there were several. And people are protesting by not shopping there. I don't want to get into politics on here. Like, this is not where I want to, do that. This is where I want to kind of get away from that. But I do think that we also, like the people who are making the videos, we need to do more for the indie brands. And it's so interesting because during the time when I quit YouTube, it was the holidays. And you guys know the holidays, like there's like 1,000 releases a day and you want 900 things that just came out because they're just so incredibly amazing, or at least that's how it used to be. And I keep wanting to like make sure that I'm saying this stuff in the right way. And I just, it's, ooh, your bestie will not shop at Target. Yeah, it's not very different from, a lot of music I can't listen to anymore. There's a lot of movies and things I don't want to watch anymore. Hi, Molly. Oh, hey, what are you doing? Oh. Okay, where was I? Sorry. My friend Molly's popping in here. What was I just saying? My menopause brain is gone. I was definitely on something. Just dropped in, not sure what the subject is. So we're kind of talking about two different things. We're talking about what happened with Amicole, and we're talking about building a good place that's more than me just selling you makeup. So number one, I think that there needs to be some responsibility taken for the people creating content to show off small brands. For Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I only did small businesses, indie businesses, and I can't tell you how many of them messaged me thanking me because they don't have, the crazy advertising dollars that everybody else had to try to get people in during the holiday time. And I think that that's a tradition that I just want to keep. I make sure that I'm finding smaller companies. Even Natasha Denona, I had found her before Sephora. I was always looking. And the thing that you guys will see in my video that I'm in the middle of working through is that I found an artist that literally spoke to me, like just made my makeup self go crazy. I was not surprised to see the end of Amicole. Joss, can you say why? We've all been weighing in here. Well, while she's typing, I think that there has to be responsibility on every side of it. I think that we as consumers need to decide. You're essentially voting on a company staying in business every time you give them money. When you buy something from them. And it's usually one of the companies that were on that chart. I would so much rather give it to a small business. I love shopping small where I live. I love going into stores, but do you guys see people that are much younger being that? Into going into stores and buying things? I don't know if they're going to shop that way. Is that just an us thing, or is that an everybody thing? The focus was too narrow and it was not luxury. You're talking about Amicole? I was surprised when Marc Jacobs disappeared. He's coming back, from what I hear. You're talking about her focus? Which one do you think does better, you guys? Luxury or that prestige or middle level? Because I'm not sure. Hi, Molly. You think younger people shop so much online and don't know what a boutique even is, sadly. I was not surprised to see Beautylish, Susie Wayne Goss leave. He left Beautylish? We're vibing. What happened? He left Beautylish? I I thought that he just kind of got rid of his company, that somebody else was gonna be in that with him. Was it the people at Beautylish? I don't know the story. I need details here. I'm looking to see. He's still on their website. He explained it on his YouTube channel. Huh. I heard him saying that he had to walk away from the name, like, kind of like Bobby Brown did, but, she made a bazillion dollars doing it, or Tom Ford, he made a bazillion dollars doing it. I feel like he took the hit, leaving his name behind. That has to be hard. It has to be really hard. And for Ami Cole, she was honoring her mother. I mean, there's so many different brands that have, different places. My best friend's boutique is named after, she's got all boys and one girl. So the store is called Peyton Rose because that's her daughter, Peyton Rose. Oh, so I want to say a couple things. Like, I want to say there's a whole piece here that we need to be, I just think I want to be more conscious of bringing in more indie. And I know that when I go like on Makeup on My Radar, she tends to have a lot more of those indie companies. The problem is that a lot of those indie companies are doing the insane colors that I would have loved, when I was 16, but not so much at 57. At 60 years old, I now prefer luxury to prestige. Felice, I am right there with you, but if I find something that's good, that's not a lot of money, I think it's like a huge win. Like Bioderma. I can't tell you how much Bioderma we go through in this house. I love it. It's fantastic. I like some of the Prequel skincare. I will tell you that right now I am trying a bunch of things from Rhode, and I have a lot to say about it. $1 billion seems like a stretch. What is the difference between luxury and prestige? Real question. Luxury is usually something that is like a brand that also has makeup, like a very high-end brand, like a Tom Ford. But then there's also brands that come into the space at a certain price point, like Victoria Beckham, like Sarah Creel, like Hourglass. They're priced higher. The prestige brands are those ones like House Labs, Bobbi Brown, maybe Tarte, Mario. You know what I mean? I want to try the Prequel, not interested in celebrity brands. So I can tell you that I will continue to buy one or two things from Rhode that I think she did well. The problem for me, like, spoiler alert, I need things like more than peptides. Like, first it was hyaluronic acid. Everybody had to tell us that it had hyaluronic acid in it. Then it was the whole thing with niacinamide, blah, blah, blah. Oh, now it's peptides, peptide. It's like, how many buzzwords can we use? And speaking of which, I've been wanting to say this for the longest time. Okay. I want you guys to tell me if you agree. I'm literally going to just guess here and hit the shop button with brands. And I'm just going to like go like this and just go boop. Okay. So why are the names like an entire search engine thing? I was looking at the names of things like, okay, Givenchy has the Prisma Libre blurring and color correcting matte pressed powder. They're all trying to optimize for search on the names of the products. Have you guys noticed this? It's like nothing's just called like I love that Jones Road will be like the mascara. Like that's it. It's the mascara. I think that's like the anti. It's funny because she gets it. I want to catch up here. Prequel, I love. I want to share that again. Well, with the exception of VB, I do like her eye pencils. Oh, you don't like Victoria Beckham Beauty? Whoa. I also like some products from PMUA brands. Pat McGrath. My work is so heavy with human suffering. I turn to the beauty space as an escape. I enjoy beauty, the joy of prides, and as well as talking about it with all of you. That is really why I am here. I agree. It's an escape, and this is like our happy place, right? The only proven topical anti-aging product is prescription retinoid, retin-A, tretinoin, Ecleaf. I don't know if we have that one here, but yes, I have tretinoin in my bathroom. But I went down to like a really low percentage. I'm like at 0.25 again. It was just too much for me. I come here for the fun. I come here to see the cool new stuff that's coming out, to see what sticks. Like today, this actually crossed my mind. I was on Instagram and I try not to like do anything but like makeup and dogs. Like I want my whole algorithm to just be like makeup and dogs and no anything else. I can't remember who did it. I think it was on Meet. She posted that Danessa restocked on her own website that whole system thing that she did for holiday that I did not buy because it was so colorful. But now I'm kind of thinking about it. I need to be talked down. Oh, I love VB. She's the only celebrity brand I'll buy. I think that she has become a bona fide designer. I really do. I think she has proven to be very good at what she does. And obviously there are people in high places that think so. She seems to get along very well with Anna Wintour. Pro makeup artist, PMUA. Pro makeup artist. I love learning new things from the experts, but they all wind up going behind a paywall. Drives me nuts. I think luxury brands like Chanel and Dior, while prestige are mostly Sephora brands, they are more costly than the drugstore, but not nearly the cost of luxury. Think Rare Beauty, Huda Beauty, ND. Yeah, there's that. They're not designery kind of things. But I do think of Victoria Beckham, even though she has the clothing line and stuff, I think of that as a luxury brand. I think Hourglass is a luxury brand, think a lot of it has to do with price. So you guys, remember how the other day I was shared with you guys the 2 palettes that I bought from Hourglass. There was this one that was the all matte. By the way, love this so much. It's like the best palette. This one is the Minimalist. And I also bought the Modernist, which is the one that was cool toned with like the plummy colors that we looked at. And then I was like, I didn't buy that. The one that they called it metallic because it wasn't sparkly, blah, blah, blah. So I walked into a different Sephora that there's 2 that I go to, and the people from Hourglass were there. It happened to be like an Hourglass day. And we were chit-chatting, and I was like, oh, I just bought 2 of your palettes yesterday, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I thought it was really interesting that there really wasn't any sparkly colors. You had sort of the mattes and the satins and the metallics, which I still not sure that they're metallic, but we'll get there. And she said, just a second. And she comes over and she's holding one of the scattered light shadows. And she's like, have you ever tried one of our scattered light shadows? I was like, why, yes, I own all of them. So she's like, well, we won't do any sparkles because if you want sparkles, you can just use the Hourglass scattered light shadows. So I thought that was hilarious. But they talked me into picking up the metallic one. So I thought I would share this with you since I was influenced to buy this. I did get a really fantastic vegan makeup bag with samples in it. This is going to go into a box that I will do a giveaway at some point. So I want to show you guys the metallics. And I think I'm going to love them. Here they are. So they give them such great names. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So I want to show you. They are very smooth. Now, remember when I said they were catching the light, but they weren't like sparkling? This is what I meant. These have, Hourglass with their whole like luminescence thing and the whole like, I don't know what they do with light, but gosh, do they kill it in the powders, you guys. I don't think that they come out with a powder that hasn't worked. Have they ever? I'm like trying to remember. I'm behind a little bit. Danessa Myricks is really innovative. I like PML used to be. I agree. I think she's got like that. She's got like that artistic spirit, and I recorded, and I was going to show everybody. I was in the middle of editing it, and I didn't get a chance to finish it, so I'll do it next time on Tuesday. But I got the like real swatches, color by color. It'll be on my Instagram. I'm going to break it down and like freeze it so that you can actually see it. Because I keep going, I don't know which one. I don't know which one I want. But she's just innovating. Thank you for explaining prestige. In French, prestige is more akin to luxury, so I thought the terms meant the same thing. Yeah, the prestige brands are the ones that I would say like that meaty middle. They're like Barbara Raz said, like they're not like the drugstore prices, but they're not like, luxury perfume house designer. Mario Jones Road Danessa are PMUAs. Yes. The brands that are started by people who are makeup artists, like I'm just thinking out loud, like Katie Jane Hughes. I've not tried her stuff yet, but she's definitely got like a style, but she is a makeup artist. Farah Hamidi, makeup artist. Westman Atelier, she's a makeup artist. And it's interesting. These are really pretty, aren't they? It's really interesting to see, who comes in where. You've got, Mario came in after being with the Kardashians, and he was good being that middle. He liked that's where his sweet spot was. And, Victoria Beckham was always on the high end. And Westman Atelier, I think, had a lot of people head scratching for a while because we have the expectation that if you're going to come into the market at that kind of a price, you better be somebody special. And that is why I think at the beginning, Sarah Creel was sort of like slow to start because nobody knew who she was because she was behind the scenes for so long. Jocelyn says, maybe for a brand to be luxury, they also have to do fashion, leather goods, perfume, etc. I would say most of the time, unless they're just really darn expensive. I don't even know how else to say it. Is that right, you guys? Do you agree? I don't have my glasses because I'm doing my skincare, so I apologize for all the typos. I have a vision in this eye that I had a retinal occlusion, and I have part of the vision in this eye is tunnels, and I don't see, properly with it. And when I'm typing, my depth perception is off a little bit. And so I have to like tilt my phone or I make like a lot of typos, which is why I normally I'm just going to record what I'm saying. Have you done a video yet on the hourglass quads? Because if you did, I missed it. No, I talked about them the other night in the live. I'll put them in a video also, which is also one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight. Gorgeous shades. Here, I'll swatch all these for you while we're just chit-chatting. The palette that this is the one that plummy, cool tones. Yes, please. I'm here. I love them. They are, it's really hard to see that first one because it is like my skin color. Let me do these one more time. Try to really give you something to look at. They are smooth as silk. I mean, truly in all hourglass fashion, they are so beautiful. They are so forgiving on the eye. These are palettes that will be like a workhorse. The other one that I got is the all matte palette, which is very much like the Chanel palette that is, I gotta pull it out again. One of my favorites. It's not Tissé Essential. Shoot, I'll think of it. Very plain, very neutral. Very much like the Chanel palette. I'm going to have to take it out. Let's put these on here first. Get this one a little deeper. These shadows are incredibly buildable. That is the all matte quad. And I can see using this with literally any sparkle that I feel like wearing that day. And then this is the plummy cool tone one. So the one on the bottom is called the Minimalist. And then the next one is Modernist. Which is the more cool tone, kind of plummy browns. And then the palette that you can just sort of like mix in and use what you'd like. Oh. Can you guys hear me? They are really mature eye friendly. I hope you guys can hear me. You mean the metallics? They really are. But I'm going to show you with the scatter light over it because it's interesting. I want the hourglass quad now. Love your eye look. Michelle, can you reveal what you have on? Yes, I will show you exactly what I'm wearing today. I've only worn the Modernist one so far, and it's beautiful, but the satin plummy shade isn't very impactful. Yeah, and they told me that that was by design, which I thought was very interesting. Claire Obscure, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My menopause brain thanks you so much. Yes, Jocelyn says. Yes, Felice says. You guys can hear me. Claire Obscure. Yes. And honestly, I think you could even, like, not for every color that's in here, but the Tisse Essential has like this shades, but sort of pearly. I think it would go really, really well with this. I'm going to grab the scattered lights for a second. It's like a whole box sparkles. But I want to take just a couple of them to show you guys like how cool these actually, she did me like a huge favor. So I'm just going to use these down here first. This is the color called Ray. I think it's probably better if I kind of hold, let me turn this up a little. Can you see that? And I'm just going to dip my finger in, and it's very sparkly. And I'm going to go right on top of that bottom shadow. The thing about the scattered lights from Hourglass that I will say is that they are almost a matte shadow with like pinpricks of light. And the effect that I feel like it gives is almost a floating effect. So I'm going to take one that's like brighter that you can like really see. Wait, where's the top? I don't know, those little pushy things. Let's see. Okay, smoke. This is like my favorite one because it's really very neutral. It's a lot like Mink from Victoria Beckham, but not as black brown. This is it right here. And I'm just going to put this right on top of just one of the matte shadows. And it will give you, I know it's hard to see, but it will give you that effect of it being a sparkly shadow. Now, do I think you have to use the scattered lights? No, I don't think that you do. In fact, I didn't. Here's Space Cowboy. This is an easy, readily available, a lot of people. Why does that keep happening? Okay, I hope I'm back. Let me take some Space Cowboy. And let's just go on top of even one of the metallics like up here. I can make those shadows sparkle. And then also, you guys know I'm a huge fan of the shadows from Patrick Ta. So if I take those sparkles and put them on top, I just feel like you can really dress them up like however you want. Like if you want to wear sparkles, wear sparkles. I say everyone should just feel very sparkly at least once in a while. It's just fun. And these palettes, I feel like they're going to be, except for storing them because they had to make them this weird shape, they're really excellent. I think worth the money. Like, I'm a yes on that. I think if you like neutrals and you wear them a lot, these are great. Natasha Denona also has an all mini palette. Yep. I have it somewhere. It's it definitely is a little bit, what I start to see on a lot of people is that they sort of go into like orange as their color that is their middle of the road color. And I'm just too pink for that. Oh, similar to the minimalist. Okay, cool. Urban Decay Moon Dust are such great sparkly toppers too. Yep, and such a good bang for your buck on those. Plus, like at holiday when they do like, you know, like a strip of them, and you go when the sale's happening, it could be like 20 off. Space Cowboy Classic UD. I'm not ashamed. I was alive in the 90s putting those on. I wear sparkles every single day. Well, Molly, see, that's what I love about you, babe. You and I are sparkly. We like it. So what am I wearing today? Today, I have on an interesting variety. So my friends that I've really been working hard to get into a relationship with over at Suku sent me 2 of the new mono shadows, and I got to pick them out. They have 4 different formulas. This one is one of the satins. They were out of a lot, but look at this color. Like, Look at this color. Okay. This is what they are calling satin. It's just, this is beautiful. Like, this is the neutral, leaning cool brown of my dreams. And it could work as a matte, but it's got a luminosity to it. So that was one of them. There's actually, I wanted to try one of the other formulas, which I'll tell you about in a second. This is something else. Okay, so these are called the lusters. And the lusters are all like these very sparkly, almost topper kind of things. And oh my God, I had to have this one. It is just literally like fairy dust. And on top of anything, it's beautiful. And just by itself, it's beautiful. It just has like, not in like an obnoxious, like I'm changing colors kind of way, just in an, I'm going to catch every little bit of light and make your eyes twinkle like little stars. It's just so pretty. So the luster formula is one that I would definitely look at. And the other one that I don't have is called a prism. And those have like a bigger sparkle, and then there's mattes. And so I bought a couple of each, and I'm hoping that they sent them out today so that I can show them to you guys before launch. If you purchase during the launch from Selfridges, I want to say it's 125 pounds minimum, but I have to ask. They ship it for free. They take care of the duties and all that. They send you, there's always a gift. Like, this is like this gorgeous, like giant puffy bag that you could like put like your computer in and stuff. It was kind of really cool. And also, I forget what it was, maybe a powder or something like that. A couple of different things, but the shipping is free, which is so nice. And even if like you're not going to order a lot, like if you can get a friend and you both can, and you're not paying for shipping and stuff, it's kind of not as bad. Suku is the reason why I am back where I am. The main person that does the artwork for Suku Europe, he designs 2 collections by himself every year, and then also participates with the ones that are coming out of Japan. So I used this today just to get, I wanted this pink and this brown. And what I did when I started this eye is I covered my whole eye in this. So I'll just kind of like go over it again. And I was like, I patted this on to like both sides until I felt like I had a good blend. And I took a brush and just kind of, you know, went in and did this sort of thing. And then this palette from Suku, you would think it's like this weird palette or whatever because of this color. Honestly, it's so gorgeous. I can't believe that I like it, but the taupes in here are just cool toned and delightful. So I used the darker one just to go behind my lashes over here. It's really something that I do all the time now. I like the effect it has of drawing my eye up because everything is falling down. So if I make this part dark, it pushes it back. Light things come forward and dark things push back. So I try to push back the sag, and I use right here, I always go in first with some kind of a matte shadow. And today I want you to know I did not use a primer on my eyes today. I wanted to see like how it would wear. And honestly, I think it was okay. And then I used the only one I used in here was this one, and that was kind of like the went on top of the mat, like right here and like around where my waterline was. And then I just went in with the new mono shadow and really kind of made that like the majority of the look, because I just wanted to get a little playtime with this new shadow to see how it would wear. And because I love the sparkles, I was like, well, just in the center, you know, like just a little in the middle. So I just took a little, and I like to put something right at the lashes just to give my eye like a little something. But you can see it's interesting. I was thinking today, where is it? Oh. The Hourglass Metallics remind me so much of the feel of the Prada highlighter. The Prada highlighter has some meat on its bones, you know? This is not your light little sprinkling kind of thing. It is luminescent, and it doesn't have like, it's not harsh or anything is what I'm trying to say, but it has some soul to it. It's got some heft, like it exists. It is definitely a powder. It's definitely there. It's definitely luminescent, but it reminded me a lot of the feel of these Hourglass Metallics, and I kind of wanted to just grab one. You guys, they are so similar. They're so similar in feel and in everything. And I actually have used, I did return the really dark one because it just wasn't for me, but I kept this one and I kept the pink. And I have used it on my eyes, and I will show you. This is a great little trick to not emphasize texture and get, I mean, obviously like I way overdid that because I wasn't looking, but you can go kind of ham and get a really nice inner corner highlight with no texture with this highlighter. It's just nice to have, like, you know, something work on multiple levels. Let's see what you guys are saying. I have lots of shadows like that. Charlotte Tilbury hot shots. We love those. Chantecaille. The ones with the animals on them. Oh, do you know how much I want those? I have never bought those, and Molly knows how much I've wanted those. Oh my gosh. Like for so long. Love, love, love. Old Tom Ford, Urban Decay, Patrick Ta, Bodyography. I know I've got all my sparkles like in one thing, and I still love my Victoria Beckham. I use those a lot. They have that same thing where It's kind of metallic or matte underneath, and the sparkles are sort of floating on the top, and you don't get the same kind of texture that you get with some shadows. Even Moira, can I tell you that I brought that huge thing of sparkles to Jamaica for all of my lady friends there, and they went to town. They loved it so much. I'm gonna do it again this year. They loved it. You have all the Chantecaille animals and love them. I'm coming to your house, Felice, and they're gonna be gone. Felice and I are really meeting tomorrow for real in real life. She told me about something that's happening tomorrow at our Nordstrom by me, not super close, but pretty close. And she and I are going to meet at Nordstrom, and we're doing a masterclass with the head makeup artist. Am I saying this right? Felice of Clé de Peau for the country, like the head training education person. I think that's right. Yes, the VBB lid lusters. That is what I use with her new eye quads to lighten them up. Yeah, what happened there? Can we talk about that? I never picked up her regular eyeshadow palettes because I was always like, I've got really nice mattes from, Chanel and whatever. I'm so bummed that I don't have those because these are dark. They're dark and not like dark, oh, she did it so it would look good on many skin tones. I feel like they're just dark. Like, I like a smoky eye, but in order for something to look smoky, you've got to set it against something that's not smoky. I don't have all the animals, but quite a few. I want the whole darn zoo, okay? I want the whole zoo. I bought the new Clé de Peau powder, the one of the new lipsticks in the velvet satin. Okay. I was going to show you guys. I had her make me 2 testers. Of the new Clé de Peau powders because I wanted to show you guys. They took the talc out. It's that word that's like flugada. It's like a very long one. So this is number 1. Number 1 has a little bit of a pink cast to it. Let's keep a little of it for tomorrow. A little bit of like a pinky cast to it. And you guys, when I tell you that you just want to sit and go like this, like wherever you put it, it's the smoothest, like most delightful feeling stuff. And I don't know where it goes, but it's a wow. This is a powder. This is a powder that isn't a consolation prize. Do you know what I mean? Because we all lost our favorite powder. This is not a consolation prize. This one is number 2, which she did not give me a lot of because this isn't my color, but it's definitely got more of a peachy undertone. And I think it's going to be good for, I don't know about dark because I don't have like experience with it, but because it's translucent and it's got that little bit of tint to it, very, very pretty. It's got a luminosity, so it's not like a dead matte, but it's definitely matte. Very, very pretty. It's the first loose powder that I thought was sort of okay because I'm like 100% on my Sukus right now because they still have talc. I know I shouldn't be, but national trainer with CDP. His name is Johnny. Felice, do you know him? Have you met him before? I'm excited to meet him. I only use a couple of shades at a time in her quad with the light shimmery lid luster, and they are very pretty, but definitely not what VB intended for them. So you're making it work for you. See, I love that. And that's the kind of stuff that I want us to be able to share with each other. Like what works and what doesn't. And what works for me is not necessarily going to work for everybody. And that's why I want everybody to have a voice here and everybody to feel like this is a place where you can come and you're just going to have really nice people, really kind people. Like whatever Rabbi Raz said, I got to go back in the comments because I thought it was so beautifully said. My work is heavy with human suffering. I turn to a beauty space as an escape. I enjoy beauty, the joy it provides, as well as talking about it here with all of you. That's why you're here. I love that, but I also love the other thing that you said. I agree, but not everyone values kindness. Some people only value money, others power. I think many of the things we took for granted are no longer a given. I can just say with 100% certainty that I just have zero tolerance for any kind of intolerance for people. So those people will be gone. That won't happen here. You did get color number 1 in the powder and the new eyeshadow quad with the orchid color. Yeah, that looked really pretty. And there's a lot of new lipsticks that appear in the picture to be maybe cool toned, but they don't have them at that store yet. I was going to swing over and see if they got them in at Neiman Marcus yet, because there's some really neat looking colors in both formulas, the matte and the satin. So we'll have to see. I don't know if we talked about what we were supposed to talk about tonight, but I think this was so nice just to end everything on a good note. My last thing that I will share with you, because they did come today, is I picked up the new Color Wash blushes from Victoria Beckham. I did get all 3 colors with the intention that this is going to be going to somebody that I love who can wear this color. It's the coral, but I wanted to be able to show it to everybody. Today, I wore this darker one on my cheeks. It's really interesting. The bottom of this has like a little silver ball on it. And I think it is so easy to stain your lips with, because it's got this little ball. Like you can really get a shape. And I stained them today. I didn't put a lip liner on because I wanted to see if it was going to bleed. And I took this Sicily color that I have in Crush 3 because I thought it would go really, really well with it. And just kind of dabbed it because I wanted to see, like what kind of longevity it had. I'm telling you, they're beautiful and they're fun. And I'm not saying that everybody has to have them by any stretch of the imagination. You can make blush. I'm sure you've got blush, lots and lots of blush that hasn't been used. I did not drop it directly on my skin the way that she did. I will right now with you guys, and we'll see. Supposedly it has a slow setting formula, so you're supposed to be getting some playtime with it. I put mine today on a palette, and I had a lot of control with it. You don't need a lot. It makes a really pretty blush. I don't know him. I was browsing the CDP display a couple weeks ago, and the cosmetics department manager asked me if he could give my name and number to the CDP counter manager. That's why I'm sitting next to you. I knew those damn stains would be great. You know, I thought that this is from my shots, so don't think that's like a dot of the stuff. It's very, I mean, literally watercolor. Like, it looks like watercolor paints. I like the way they definitely are going to be like a no makeup favorite. Maybe not the darkest color, but even though this is like my wheelhouse, I love this. I feel like, God, I haven't seen them in a long time, and I can unearth them for our next video. She did those lip stains, do you guys remember, that were like dried your lips out? And I think these are the same colors. But I also think these are the same colors of those twist up gloss thingies that she has, the ones that don't go back down, that I have also. So we'll swatch all of that, but I just wanted to say they're really pretty. I'll give you a swatch of each just so you can see all the colors if these are something that are interesting to you. I'm just gonna draw on myself. I don't know how long these are gonna last, but I pictured them being bigger. I definitely pictured them being bigger. No, wait a second. Did I do the darkest? I think this is the red. Getting so confused. Okay, yes. Okay, so we have on the top is the berry color, then the coral, and then the red. And honestly, they all kind of faded, don't look all that different. They really don't. I mean, depth-wise, maybe. No, I think it's different. I mean, I definitely feel like this is more of a like a red for me. I always just look good in the berry colors. They just seem to be more cool toned, I guess. But I mean, they're not a must. They are definitely a frivolous, silly thing that I probably wouldn't have bought unless I, did this. But now that I have them, I'm going to enjoy them. I think they're really pretty for summer. I think it's, they don't feel like they're going to move around, which is nice. And the stain did last all day on my cheeks and for a good amount of time on my lips. They did. Is it like the Benetint? It's not, because these have more playtime. If I took the Benetint and dotted it on my face, I would have dots on my face. Do you know what I mean? These you can put them on you. Like if I wanted to do like one spot of like just this color, you can do that and it will still diffuse the color. Whereas like the Benetint is like a magnet. Like once it goes on you, like you don't have a whole lot of playtime. It's, have you ever seen those Daniel Sander things? He's from the UK. He did like these watercolor things. I think that if you have a really sheer like skin tint on or just like a tinted SPF, this is like a really nice thing to be able to put on for anything at anywhere at any time. Like it, I don't feel like it reads as makeup. I mean, the amount that I put on here does, but the real life way that you would, it would be sort of like you had a flush, maybe a hot flash. But they're, you know, they're nice. And then I did like take the brush that I used like for my foundation. And I just kind of made sure that I didn't have like, you know, any edges. And I always like to kind of make sure that my blush isn't going down my face just because my cheeks are. I think it's pretty. I'm not sure that I like the whole like crazy amount on the nose because I saw a picture of that today before I put it on and I was like, okay, I'm not really ready for that. We'll see. You never know. Anything else, guys? I love how I'm not buying stuff now. It's working out really well. You're going to hold me back tomorrow, Felice. The Benetint used to be one of my favorites. Like I can remember just being like putting it on, and then it came like in all these different colors. And then didn't they get rid of it for a while? And now they've brought it back again. Isn't that the story of being 50 something, that everything old is new again? It's nuts. I don't know how we got here, but we did. So if you guys could all do me a favor, think about for you. This is a for you thing. What would you like to see in a community space that would be good for you? Do you see it being threads that you can just comment on? Do you see it being live conversation? Do you see it being a little bit of both? Would you ever go on one of these, like if it was just like a small group and you had the option of whether or not you turned on your camera and all that kind of stuff, would you do a Zoom? Those are the kind of things that I want to find out about because I just want to know how I can build a site that really is something that we all need and not just for new products, but for anything. Like, hey, my kid's going to college and I'm having a nervous breakdown. What did you do for this or that? My daughter's getting married. My grandson this, you know, whatever it is. It could be anything. I just want it to be a kind place, a place of peace, a place where intolerance is not tolerated. That's all I have to say on that. What am I tempted to buy now? I'll show you the next thing I'm buying. 100%. Besides the Dior blushes, which you guys, I'm so excited for those Dior blushes. I'm ready to scream if they don't put them up there soon. I'm going to freak out. I did see on Sephora, there's a little trick I learned. I'm sure you guys have seen the trick. It's not really tricky. I hit shop, and when I hit new and I hit just dropped, a lot of times it'll say that, like product is like sold out or something to that effect. But it just means that it hasn't launched yet. So it gives you an idea what's coming. And apparently that list has grown. July is supposed to be like nothing. It's the new Golden Hour 24-hour lightweight skin tint with hyaluronic acid from Armani Beauty. And I don't know why I'm showing it to you on my phone when I could show it to you on here. I think that it could be like the coolest thing ever. I'll show you what I'm hoping for. Let me get rid of this. Okay. So, first of all, the shade range is tremendous. It's like a lot. So they've got fair cool pink, warm golden, warm peach, neutral pink, warm olive, cool peach, neutral peach. But the thing that's so cool about these is that they have a radiance that is not sticky tacky. And it's supposed to be a 24-hour, I don't know how that works out, but a 24-hour lightweight skin tint. I just think her skin looks really good. And I think the colors are really interesting. Here.
The Luminous Self Foundation.
Like that's like the middle shades. Here's the light.
The Luminous Self Foundation.
And it shows you the different faces that are in your group, which I can appreciate this because most people, when they're buying this online, that will be a nice thing.
The Luminous Self Foundation.
I am noticing, and I'm sure you've noticed also, I think we saw this one already. And they do even go into actual deep
The Luminous Self Foundation.
Skin, so let's say hey, yay for that, with different undertones that seem very reasonable. So that's what I'm excited about next, even though I don't know what could be better than Lisa Eldridge's skin tint. I just don't think it's possible that something could be better. Looks lovely, but Armani foundation is too warm for me. Not sure the skin tint would be different. I don't know. I know that these are numbered differently than the Luminous Silk. So that might be worth a try. We should be able to get some swatches, some real swatches when I go in. I'm not shy at my Sephora about being like, I'm putting this on, I'm taking pictures, and I'm coming in, taking it off, and I'm going to do some more. They're just like, okay. So I'll get them. But I think that looks really pretty. Other than that, I honestly Would like to breathe. Although I really, after seeing the Danessa sticks for a week, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. If you're not ready yet and you feel like you want to get ready, watch Tanya. If you don't want to buy them, do not watch her because you'll want them. You'll definitely want them. Definitely. Have you ever tried 3.75, Jocelyn? Because I love that color. Look at this, how it's still here, this eyeshadow. You guys, my Suku love story is going to be like the best story that I've ever told on a video that I'm doing by myself. I'm very excited about it. Very. On Sephora, many reviews mention that the DM sticks are very glittery. They are. There's two that come attached. One is a metallic and the other is, I don't know what she calls it, but glittery sparkly would be probably what you'd call it. That's what her whole color fix system thing does. And anybody who missed her holiday, stack that she did that was like a rainbow, I believe it was a meat that had it. I'm going to look and see if it's on Danessa's site still, or if people bought it. Here, let me get rid of this. Okay, so this is the one that she did for spring. And now these are the new sticks that come apart. They're magnetic. And one side has like a foiled shade and one side has like the metallic. And you can mix and match the different colors. The picture you're looking at now was her spring release that she put out. That's the same as what her holiday release was, except her holiday release was 3 of them. And I was told they restocked them. So let's see. Yes, here it is. This is her Lightwork Freedom palette. So that breaks up into 3 different pieces. And then each one of those can be popped out and exchanged. So you can take a small compact with you just of 6, or you can stack them up like 3 high and put the magnets on that way. And this was her big holiday release. And for me, it was just, I went back and forth on it for too long and it was gone. And then I was like, oh, good. I'm so glad I didn't buy that. And now it's back. But I have to just keep telling myself, Michelle, you like neutrals. Michelle, you like neutrals. Hey, Heather. Did you see Chanel oversized palette and the blush duo sticks coming? I don't know if you talked about it yet. All right, you guys, I'm going to show you some stuff right now that I should not be showing you. Okay. But I'm going to. My whole phone used to be pictures of my son and my dog. And now it's just pictures of makeup. It's just insane. See, there are some things that we can't put up even though they've been shown on the internet. Like, people get their accounts taken away. Okay, this is one of the compacts. Which does not do anything for me with that color, but I think that there are definitely people that would like that. Okay, are we ready? That's fall, guys. I'll find you the oversized palette. I have that too. So these 4 eyeshadow palettes are supposedly fall. I'm like, 4? Why would they do nothing the whole summer and then throw 4 of them at us at one time? So there's this. And why does that keep doing that? So that one's called Stellar. And then we have Mademoiselle. And Couture. Those are the colors. These are the new YSLs that are coming. And that palette will be coming. I believe this is holiday, though. If you can see up at the top here, trying to pull it down. Let me find the other picture. There's a Give me 1 second, guys. It's worth it, believe me. It's a video. Find it. Hold on, it's in a text that I sent to somebody. Then that I know for sure. Okay, let me. I gotta figure out how to get this one up there. Can you guys see that? That's supposedly holiday. Okay. Jocelyn was ready. I got the screenshots. If you don't have, you send them over to me. Thank you. First one looked like a flag map for me. I love that. Don't you love it when you don't like something? It's like, oh, I don't need to even worry about that. That's so awful. Yeah, I want 1 and 2. They look spring summer except the last one. Stellar and Couture. I dislike the purple face eye palette. I'm hoping it's going to be more pink than purple. If they gave us orange, can they not give us pink? Mauve? Where did the green Chanel palette come from? I haven't seen that. Which, there was a green one? I mean, of the 4? Do you mean of the 4, Heather? This one? The real cool tone one is probably for holiday. A few picks back. I don't have any other ones. I gotta pull these two back out. These were fabulous blushes. Can't believe that's 2 years ago. All right. Anyway, you too can find all of these things if you download the Red app on your phone. You don't give them your phone number, but put like your information, and you do have to tell them how old you are just so you can do it. And most of it you can't read anyway because it's all Asian, but they're taking pictures of stuff that you won't see for like a year. Like that's how long it takes for them to make things. So it's like the Wild West over there. They don't care what you put up. Okay, no purple. Bunch of stuff in a pick. I don't know. I can't go through opening it up again. It's like I'm dead. No, I'm kind of cooked. So if you guys wouldn't mind, I would love to hear from you what it is that you want to see on the website. Like, do you want there to be like different rooms with different subjects? Do you want different strands? Like, think big, because I want this to be a place that people want to go, a place that people want to be, a place, that you can share pictures like this and do things that, we probably don't want to do like on Instagram or here. We want to do it on a website. Anybody with any final words of wisdom for tonight? Something good. It's been a long week, Well, I appreciate you guys all coming tonight. I do want to hear from you. I do want to know, will you do a Zoom? Will you not do a Zoom? Do you want to have one-on-ones with me? Do you want me to do weekly VIP lives? Like what sounds good? What is interesting to you? The Tuesdays are a given. Tuesday is the one thing that I will have. I want the Chanel eyeshadow quote, the blue periwinkle and lilac. I know. That is going to be our holiday gift to ourselves, both of us. We will definitely be getting that one. It's my favorite of the bunch. It's so sparkly and pretty. It reminds me of Mediterranean, but in cool tones. Like I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm so excited. I'm too tired for wisdom. If you think of something, I'll DM you. Thank you. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm sending lots and lots of love your way. I hope that you all have a great weekend. It may be worth it on the Armani to get shade matched. I am definitely going to order the one that I think is going to work. I'll do that because I hate waiting for it to cut into the stores. They always release stuff online now, and keep it online for so long. Yet another tangent. You want it too? Thank you for the live. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you, Joss. Have a good weekend. I hope you guys all do something fun. Not too autocorrect. I can't type this hour, so we're square. All right, you guys. I'm sending love all of your way, and I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Any questions anytime, call me, DM me, send me a message. I will get to you. Anybody who wants anything, let me know. Felice, I will see you tomorrow. I'm so excited. Second that we all need the Chanel. So tomorrow when I hook up with Felice at the CDP, we'll film a little and we'll show you guys a little video of what we see. We'll show you what they've taught us. We all need that Chanel. Molly, I think what I'm going to do is just call my guy at the Chanel place and I'm going to say, listen, there's 17 of us that want that palette first. We'll all get it. I'm not kidding. We should tell him how many we want. Like, I will be all over that. That is something I would love to do for everybody. And I don't make a commission or anything. I just want to help everyone. I really do. Yes. Yes, blue. Blue and purple and cool tones. I know it's going to be fun. And it looks very Studio 54 to me. It's just so pretty. Love it. All right, you guys. Love you all. Mwah. Have a good night, everybody. Sweet dreams. See you all on Tuesday. Bye.